Alright everyone, Cowboy Trades here, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are enjoying the holiday season. I know I have been, I know the markets have been, as they've been having a healthy pullback over the past couple of days, but this leads us to the topic of discussion. Moving into 2024, where is the money going to flow back into? Where's the opportunity? And that's why today we're going to be talking about Solana, my new price predictions, and some new meme coins that I want to run through with you guys. So before we talk about Solana, let's look at what's happening with the rest of the markets. Let's start off with a quick overview on Bitcoin so we know kind of where Solana is going to be moving to. So starting off with Bitcoin on the daily time frame, you can see, like I said, since round about the 22nd or so, Bitcoin has been correcting, typical over the holiday seasons. People go spend time with their families. People are not really interested in the markets over these couple of days, but moving into 2024, that's probably when this consolidation phase is going to end for Bitcoin. That's probably when Bitcoin's going to start breaking out again to the price targets we talked about in our last video, and that's probably when Solana is also going to start running back up to the upside. So what I'm looking at on Bitcoin right now on the daily time frame is the fact that the stochastic RSI is coming very, very close to a bottom. So I think this bottoming phase is going to happen around about the 1st of January. That's going to be coming into Monday of next week. Next week is really when I think this consolidation / correction phase is going to be done, and we're going to start moving back up to the upside. So what I want to see for Bitcoin is exactly what we've been seeing time after time again for the past few months, and that's an expansion into a new yearly high followed by a healthy correction. You can see in this example over here, 9th of November, made a new all-time high, had a healthy correction, we formed the bottom, and then during that phase for the next couple of weeks or so, we just kept on grinding up, making higher lows and bashing our head against the previous high. This is what you want to see. This is good for momentum. You want to see that new high form, and you want to see the markets just keep on retesting. The more you retest a particular level, the weaker and weaker it gets. That's why when you see when we're getting ready to blast into a new phase, we really only retest this bottom phase a few times, but we keep on coming up to the top. We keep on hitting it, trying to break it. The more we try and break it, the more we chip away at this level. And then as you see, the next expansion happens. So we're currently in the phase where we've already witnessed an expansion coming into the beginning of December up to 45,000. And Bitcoin is in, like we talked about, a healthy correction at this moment in time. What I want to see over the next couple of days is just a little bit more consolidation before we get ready for that flip into a new yearly high. As we talked about in our previous video, I've personally got my eyes on these two levels. This major level of resistance up here at 48,650, and we've also got a massive CME gap all the way up here at 53,700 as the most bullish target that I've got my eyes on at this moment in time. If we do come up to that level, this is when I'd be thinking the markets are getting ready for, like we talked about a second ago, this is a healthy retrace on the daily time frame over a week or so, at which point if we did come up to these levels, I'd be expecting a little bit more of a macro retrace. It might take a month or two where Bitcoin comes back down to this lower CME gap at 39,000 before we decide what the next move for the markets is. Like we talked about in my previous video, I don't particularly think new all-time highs are going to be coming in the next month or so. I think a situation like this is going to happen for Bitcoin where we're going to have a nice impulse, we're going to have a healthy correction, we've got CME gaps down at 20,000, but that's a topic for another video, or just listen to the previous video. So moving on from Bitcoin, in the short term, over the next couple of weeks or so, I think we're going to see an expansion to the upside, to the price targets that we just talked about. How do you think this is going to affect Solana? Well, first of all, as you can see, Solana is in a very similar stage right now. It came up to this new local yearly high at $126.70. And right now it's having a healthy correction, hitting around about $100 to $105 where it is stalling out. So this is what I'm looking at right now on Solana on the daily time frame. We've obviously been tearing up on the weekly. We've been expanding. These red candles, these typically on the weekly time frame only last about a week for Solana. So, this kind of ties in nicely with what I've been talking about for Bitcoin. I think for the next few days or so, it's still the holiday season. People aren't going to be super invested in the markets. People are probably going to wait for 2024 next week on Monday. That's when I think the markets next week are really going to start expanding back up to the upside. So this is kind of nice because on the weekly time frame, Solana is having a healthy correction. As you can see, since we were back down here at $22, every single time Solana's had a one red weekly candle, it just gets brought up with a new local high. So This is what I'm looking at right now on Solana. On the daily time frame, you can see the same thing with Bitcoin. It's been making these local highs. It's been consolidating, new local high. It's been consolidating, retesting the previous highs, new high, consolidation, new high. We're in the consolidation phase right now. So I see no reason to believe that today, tomorrow, in a couple of days or so, Solana is just going to blast up to a new high. Is it possible? It is possible. However, what I'm really looking at right now is a healthy correction just to last a few more days. And these are my targets. So as you can see, Solana is in that retrace right now. I think we're potentially going to see something like a bump and run pattern for Solana. Now, what I think is plausible for Solana is kind of what's plausible for Bitcoin. Like we talked about, I think Bitcoin has, one more leg to the upside before we potentially see that macro retrace. We really haven't seen a macro retrace on Bitcoin or Solana or anything like that since around about September. So we've been up for a few months or so. As you know, even if we are in a bull run, markets don't just go up, 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 and up for months without any significant retracement. So that's what I'm calling for. I'm calling for another leg to the upside before the next retracement. And here's where I think Solana could find a local bottom before we start moving back up to the upside. If we come over here on the weekly time frame, you can see Solana has actually wicked down to this very important level. It's a psychological level, yes, but it is also this very important 618 Fibonacci from the previous swing low up to the bull run high. So as you can see, yesterday, Solana came down and pretty much wicked onto this $100 region. It came down to 101. Obviously some people front around $100. We saw a little bit of a bounce, but it looks like we're heading back down to that $100 mark right now. So this is where I'd be looking at. Like I said, I think Solana's probably going to have a correction over the next couple of days or so. So the first target that you really want to be looking at is $100. If $100 holds, it's not the most bullish scenario in my opinion. I'd personally prefer to see a very healthy retrace over on the stochastic RSI on the daily. You can see there's a little bit more room for a correction to happen. If we do kind of just overlay these points where Solana has had a top in the stochastic RSI, it doesn't always have to mean that you've got a major correction underway. It does just mean you probably need to consolidate for like a week or so before you're ready for that next expansion back to the upside. So the first target to keep your eyes on is $100. If we hold that level, if we don't manage to break to the downside of it, fair enough. This is really where you'd be looking for the next floor to form. However, in my opinion, I think, we've expanded very quickly, and that's why the contraction that we're about to see it's probably going to be a little bit more brutal than $100. However, like I said, this is my prediction now. I think we're about to form a bump and run pattern. This pattern forms where you've got an ascending level of support, like right here. If this was just a typical extending trend line, you could see potentially Solana coming back down to about $80. But with its current momentum, I don't think that's going to happen. What I think is going to happen is we're going to be on this trend line. We're going to form a new bump trend line. This is the bump. This is basically a new trend line with a more aggressive line of attack to the upside. And I think that Solana's probably going to bottom out around about $90 to about $88. This is because if we look at the previous swing low up to this swing high, there's a 618 fib right here, $87.60. I think around about $90 as well is a good level that a lot of traders are going to be eyeing up on. And once again, I think the markets are going to be resuming into next week. It's only going to take a couple of days for Solana's stochastic RSI to reset, at which point something like this is what I would be predicting for Solana. And this is where I think a bump and run phase is going to happen. I think Solana is going to come up. I think it's going to exceed this previous local top at $176. I think if we zoom out a little bit and look at where Solana could run up to, we do have a peak all the way up here at $144. If we clear up this chart very quickly, draw something like a swing low to swing high, you can see we've got a 618 fib up at $165. In the immediate short term, this is kind of where I see Solana topping out. Over the next month or so, I don't really think Solana's ready to smash through $165 and make a new all-time high. Like I said, as you can see on the weekly time frame, I don't think we're just going to be up and up until Solana hits $1,000. I think it's going to be very healthy if we have a phase like this, where Solana comes up. Maybe it hits $148 like we previously talked about. Maybe it hits this $166, but at which point this is kind of where I see Bitcoin filling the CME gap that we talked about, 55,000 at the most bullish scenario, and for Solana, around about $166 in the most bullish scenario before, not necessarily new bear market lows, but a healthy retrace in the macro before we're ready for that next leg to the upside. So this is what I'm witnessing for Solana. I think round about $90 is going to be the bottom. Keep your eyes on $100. If we hold that level, it looks like we could have an expansion sooner rather than later. So clearly in the short term, Solana's one that I am favoring. Now, before I move on to the macro, before I let you know my crazy price prediction for the next bull run top backed up by on-chain metrics, I first of all want to share with you a couple of meme coins that I am eyeing up. Now, we talked about this in the previous Solana video. We talked about WIF. If you did manage to get in on WIF, we called this at 15 cent. This went all the way up to 36 cent, doing well over a 2x. I hope some of you took your profit, kept some on the sidelines. It is still pretty much at the entry point we talked about, around about 14 cent. I still do very much like the market structure of WIF. I think it's still creating these kind of high-low formations. Now, these correct more brutally than Solana, and they also pump more brutally than Solana. So right now, for the past couple of days or so, Solana has been having a healthy retrace, and I think coming into 2024, when Bitcoin's roaring back up to the upside, breaking out this consolidation, when Solana's breaking to the upside out of this consolidation, I think this is the point where these meme coins are going to go absolutely parabolic. Like we talked about before, we talked about WIF. I think this could go up to 50 cent. I think this could go up to $1. Not financial advice, just letting you know what I think. The market cap of this is about 143 million. I wouldn't be surprised to see this go all the way up to 1 billion. If we do come over to CoinGecko, you can see this WIF token that we were talking about. This is actually the second largest meme coin on Solana by capitalization. Now, the one that we're going to be talking about in a second, up until about yesterday, this was the lowest market cap Solana meme coin listed over on CoinGecko. Now, this saw a absolutely explosive run. As soon as this got listed over on CoinGecko, I talked about this yesterday in my Discord. Since that video, it did about a 10x from the low. It's in a retrace, so, once again, make sure you guys come and join my Discord. There are some hidden gems that we do share in there. Right now, this is another one that I'm looking at. This one is called Contract Address. This is a new meme coin on Solana. Still very new. We talked about this yesterday when it was about a 500,000 market cap over in my Discord. It is currently now sitting at 1.1 million. So this is a very small market cap despite being a Solana meme coin. Like we said, out of all of the meme coins that are listed on CoinGecko, apart from this new one, Pepe coin on Sol, this was the lowest market cap. So I think it's got lots of room to move to the upside. There is this new one, Pepe coin on Sol. I really don't like the chart on this, and I'm also not the biggest fan of meme coins that are originally from other blockchains that they just copy and paste on a new blockchain. So whether it's Doge on Solana, Shib on Solana, Pepe on Solana, it's not really something that I think can do as well as an original idea on Solana. This is just contract address. If you look at their website, they say this is just a meme. There is only a contract address. If you look at their social media metrics, if you go over on Twitter and kind of look at the engagement, when I talked about this yesterday on Discord, only had about 700 followers. It's now got about 1,750. If you look at the engagement over on Twitter, there's lots of engagement. This is still a very new project, and it's only just starting to pick up some very small steam. So because of its market cap, as you can see, it's very low. It's very possible to do these 10, 11x's overnight while you're asleep, and then it's very easy to have these, brutal 85% corrections. Right now on the 1 hour time frame, I do see the stock on this starting to reset. So if you are watching this video, of course, this isn't financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy this. I'm really just kind of sharing with you. These are my thoughts on the market. This is what I'm entering. If you guys watch my previous video, you know that I am invested in WIF at this moment in time. I'm really making money swing trading this as well, so I think it's important. If you are entering these meme coins, I would definitely advise, if you are good at it, swing trade. It's also not too hard on these meme coins. If you buy a meme coin, it goes up 2x, take out your initial investment. If it starts to crash back down to the downside, put some money back in. If it does a 10x overnight, take some damn profit. If it starts to crash back down to the downside, put money back in. If it starts to crash further to the downside, put more money in. If it starts to run back up to the upside, take profit. These meme coins, They move so quickly, they move so euphorically. It's very easy to see a 2, 3, 4, 5x rally. Just take a little bit of profit. These meme coins, they're not going to be around forever. I don't even think they're going to be around in the next couple of months or so. So at some point, these meme coins are going to have a blow off top and they're probably all going to go to zero. But with that being said, with the current market structure in Bitcoin, with the current market structure in Solana, I think in Q1, we're probably just going to see an expansion to the upside for these. So looking at what's happening right now, my main investments right now in the Solana meme coins, it's going to be number 1, WIF. It's going to be number 2, contract. Number 3 is also going to be chunky. And there's a few other ones that I've got. They're very small allocations, just ones that I'm playing around with a little bit. But yeah, I just wanted to share this new meme coin with you. 1 million market cap, insane potential, literally did a 10x overnight. It was the first crypto over on Radium to break Radium. You weren't able to sell this last night, which is why the buy order stacked up and it did a 10x. So just a thought, just sharing with you what I'm doing. Let's now move on to my prediction for Solana moving into the next bull run top in 2024 to 2025. I'm going to keep it very simple because this video is already probably pretty long. Previously, Solana has been known for making all-time highs in 2020, having a correction in a mini bear market, making a new all-time high, coming back down, retesting the previous all-time high, and then making a new all-time high. In this bear market, we saw Solana come back down, retest pretty much right around the previous bear market lows for Solana between, $5 and $8 or so, at which point Solana's been on a crazy rally since then. Like I said, I think we've got a little bit more room to move to the upside before we do have a healthy retracement, but then I think it's very likely Solana could get ready to blow up in the next cycle in 2024 to 2025. Bear in mind, I'm also calling for a recession to come in Q2 of 2024, so that is definitely going to affect Solana, but coming back into when I think crypto is really ready to expand in Q3 once again. So I think we have a bullish Q1, bearish Q2, bullish Q3, bullish Q4. That's personally, my take on what's going to be happening for these altcoins. So if we look at Solana right now, I'm going to keep it very simple. I think once we get ready to flip the previous all-time high at $269, I think people are going to be looking at psychological levels, $1,000, but there are Fibonacci's all the way up here at $955 and $1,115. This would put Solana pretty much doing a 10x with its 45 billion market cap at 450 billion. This would roughly be just about where Ethereum topped out in its previous run. As you can see, Ethereum's market cap came up to 568 billion. I think it's pretty healthy to say, hey, Solana in the next bull run could come up to 450 billion. Do I think Solana is going to flip Ethereum? No, I definitely don't think it's going to flip Ethereum. This is coming from someone who literally does not like Ethereum at all. I don't own any Ethereum. I think Ethereum is I think Ethereum is the most overhyped shitcoin of all time. I think Ethereum is absolute garbage. I think it's only around because it's got the first mover advantage. I really think Ethereum is trash, but looking at things logically, I don't think Solana's ever going to flip Ethereum. With that being said, could Solana come up to Ethereum's previous all-time high in terms of market cap? I definitely think it could, and maybe Solana just trails behind Ethereum one cycle at a time and just keeps on expanding, doing similar things to Ethereum. The charts look very similar. But anyway, there we go. Those are my thoughts. That's what I think is going to be happening with Solana. I think this is backed up by what's happening on chain as well. I mean, you're seeing this crazy expansion in price at this moment in time. And if we're looking, you can see a massive influx of new addresses coming into Solana. This is not just OGs which are buying back their positions and witnessing new gains. There's a plethora of new players coming into the Solana ecosystem. And if we're looking at year to date, the Solana value moved on chain, you can see a massive increase. The monthly value moved on chain is sitting round about 500 billion per month. And you might be thinking, that is very good. We must be coming up to new highs, right? Well, let's zoom out to the all-time high. And as you can see, this expansion that we've been seeing in value moved on chain is a absolute tiny blip. The daily value moved on chain recently is sitting around about 32 billion. Up at Solana's all-time high, it was moving more than 3 trillion on chain a day. This was, coming up to its high Prior to this, it was, very, very easily putting in 1 to 2 trillion every single day in the bull run on chain. So what we're witnessing right now, I think once that value starts to flow back into cryptos, once that value starts to flow back into Solana on chain, once we onboard tons of new addresses, I don't think it's out of the question to see Solana 10x from here, even though we're at $106. So for today, my friends, that's all I've got. Just wanted to share with you my thoughts because I think Solana and Solana meme coins are really going to be the play over the next month or so. So that's all I've got. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, leave a comment, share the videos with your friends. If you want to further support the channel, feel free to click the join button and become a member today. It's been your boy Cowboy Trades. I'll see you soon. I'm out. Peace.